Welcome back to the Delivering More platform, folks. I am your host, Ben Alkire. Thank you for tuning in, as always, morning, afternoon, and evening. We appreciate it. As always, if you could, hit that subscribe button down below. That's going to help us out more than you could ever know. I have another wonderful Meet the Team to bring to the folks. I have with me Dave from Delivery Operations. How are we doing?
Not bad. How you doing, Ben?
I'm doing good. It was a hectic day over there, casual. It's Wednesday, right? So it's usually a little busier.
Usually a little busier, but we've got things in place at just same speed,
Yeah, plug and play.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah. All right, we'll obviously navigate some more DeliverThat discussion down the road.
Sure.
But I do want to let the folks out there get to know you a little bit better,
okay.
as well as myself. I know you and I have never really had an extended conversation.
Yeah, we don't run into each other, except for the latrine.
Yeah, we chit-chat back and forth every now and then in the lunchroom here and there. But we'll start out where we always do. Where were you born and where'd you grow up?
Well, my dad was drafted for Vietnam in 72, and I was born in Texas at Fort Hood. He got out pretty close to me being born. We ended up moving to Ohio. And I was raised mainly in North Royalton, Ohio, and Ravenna. I graduated out of Ravenna High School, 94.
Hell yeah! What do you know the catalyst of why Texas to Ohio?
Well, my dad. Okay, yeah, I should preface that. My dad's from Ohio.
Okay.
So yeah, he was just coming back home.
Nice.
But he didn't actually have to go to Vietnam, so that's probably why I'm still here.
Hey.
I mean, it was at the drawdown, but I always think about that kind of.
Yeah, navigate that a little bit. What so you said Ravenna High School. What about family growing up? Brothers, sisters?
Yeah, I've got two sisters, an older and a younger. They both live in Ohio. They've got kids. I have a younger sister, but she's older than most people in the office. But she's still my little baby sister, my older sister too. So.
Oh yeah. What about sports growing up? Were you an athlete growing up? Did we participate in any high school athletics?
I think I was an athlete because my mom and dad couldn't stand to keep things getting broken in the house, so they had to direct my energies elsewhere. I think I would have ADHD. I mean, I'm just saying. I probably do.
Would have been diagnosed
amongst
nowadays.
other things. I'm just saying. But they just let me be into whatever I wanted. Started with soccer or t-ball soccer, and then. When I moved to Ravenna, that's when I started with the football and stuff like that. Yeah, so.
Hell yeah.
I've always been a team guy.
Ravenna, is it a little smaller town?
It's Division II for Ohio. It's about 12,000 people.
12,000 people,
so
okay.
It's in Portage County. It's like the county
I'm
seat.
familiar. It's a little north of here, right? What about growing up in Ravenna, the first job growing up?
Well, I was always like, helping my parents out with stuff around the house, mowing lawns. My first job, I think it was 14 or 15. I was working at a kitchen out in Rootstown. As far as safety goes, I don't think it would fly nowadays. I think there would be some charges, but I survived, and it makes you grow up when you're challenged at a very young age, I think. So,
what were you doing up there in Rootstown?
Oh, just washing dishes and just things a 15-year-old would do in a kitchen.
Yeah.
You can't make them run the restaurant yet, but they can learn how to clean it.
Hell yeah. And then, I mean, as far as navigating high school, moving on from that, do you immediately, I know you also have a military background.
Well, I went to college first.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know how to navigate that. I didn't know if you went for further education first or not.
I did. I mean, like most, I had a teacher in my high school that was a coach at Mount Union. He was a lineman coach. And he, kind of asked me if I still wanted to play and continue. And next thing I know, I was accepted at Mount Union, and I started in 94, 95. And, I didn't finish because I realized that I couldn't be caged up. I was just too, I don't know. Even now, I have a hard time. Just telling you, I got some issues. But, I had to get out. And I had to do something drastic. And after 2 years of just partying, I decided I need to join the military. I just did it for structure. I mean, I was going to be in for my first enlistment.
Need a little more backbone.
2 years, 16 weeks. Infantry, just get in and out, get me back to college. And I ended up liking it.
What about at Mount? Were you on the football team while you were there?
Yeah, I played football my freshman year.
Was that Coach Karras?
Coach Karras.
Yeah.
And I was actually, his son Vince, who became coach, was a freshman with me when I arrived. And looking back, when you're a kid, there's so much going on. You have no idea, and you got to decide the rest of your life. And I just had enough of it, and I was just like, look, I don't know what I want to do, and I don't want to keep paying, because there's no athletic scholarships D3.
Right.
I don't care how much people say stuff about getting offers, but yeah, I needed structure. I needed an income. I needed something. The Army I think it was perfect for me, actually.
Nice.
So,
And then, so what branch of the military? You
yeah,
got
I was
into?
Army. I was in the infantry. I was at 11 Bravo, trained at Fort Benning, Georgia. Graduation, I wasn't anything like airborne or range or anything special like that. I just went up to Fort Drum, 10th Mountain Division, and it came time for me to either get out or stay in. My wife knew, my wife knew I didn't want to get out, but I was willing to. I just didn't know. So I stuck it out for one more enlistment, but I changed my job.
Okay.
Yeah, I became an air traffic controller.
Nice.
Yeah. So as an infantryman, they call you light infantry, but you're anything but light. I mean, I weighed maybe 205, and I got on manifest before getting on the C-130 before we went down to Fort Bragg, and I weighed 310. And
Wait,
yeah,
you were 310
I was 310.
pounds?
Yes, full max. 7 max for M4. I'm carrying the bipod, the
with the
flex
equipment,
mount,
with
the
the
rounds
equipment.
for the 240
Okay.
Bravo. 7.62 blanks are even heavy. That was 6-7 pounds for blanks, 8 pounds for. I don't know. I'm probably off on that. Sorry, but it's been a minute. Yeah. Air traffic control. I figured it'd be more marketable. So I studied like I've never studied before, because every time I would get tired, it'd be like, I can wait. No, I just imagine that rucksack and everything. Just clank, clank. Where are we going? Just go that way. Okay, clank, clank. So yeah, I studied really. I became distinguished honor graduate in 2000. Yeah, December 2000.
Okay.
Yeah, Fort Rucker. Yeah, I was pretty proud of that.
It's all sounds extremely impressive. What about when you get started in the Army or the military, in any branch for that matter? You have to go and do like kind of like a pacer test to start. Do you have to do like a physical fitness test to start?
Before you join?
Yeah. Do you recall doing that?
Yeah, you got to do I think it's like a mile run. You got to do like 10 or 20 push-ups. At least
Oh, really?
10. So
That
it's
was
just
it?
make sure you're a
Okay.
functioning person.
Okay.
As long as you pass everything, they understand that you're going to show up out of shape, undisciplined, a lot of questions, great ideas, and they're going to erase all that, brainwash you, and just make you into a G.I. Joe. And it's what they want. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. I really enjoyed it. I had no problem with the physical portion. What surprised me was even like at the entry level of 11 Bravo world, the infantry world, competition is just huge. I mean, you've got the group that are like, screw this, screw that, don't tell me this, don't tell me that. And you got the other group that is just like, this is great. I get to blow up stuff all the time. And every time October comes around, I know I'm blowing C4, I'm doing demo ranges, I'm doing 203s, but I'm showing my age now, they've changed it. But yeah, you get to throw mass rounds of the Ma Deuce downrange and just see things. I loved it, and taught my kids how to shoot stuff, and I got one in the Army too. So I know I'm going too fast.
I'm very intrigued.
I hate to talk.
My grandfather was in the military.
Right on.
I have an uncle as well.
Okay, yeah.
So yeah, my family has a bit of a military background as well. And
It wasn't my plan, Ben.
Yeah.
And now it's becoming a family thing because my oldest son's in it, and my youngest wants to be a Ranger now. And I don't know if that's good.
Why do you feel like that is? I feel like with the first individual who gets into the military, there's always a trend afterwards to have someone join.
Let me
or
back
do
that up
not.
because even in the Civil War, we've got family that have been in there. But
Okay, so you
World War
weren't the
II,
first.
my
Okay.
grandfather, my mom's side grandfather, everybody was in the military service. My uncle, Vietnam, Air Force. My dad drafted. It's just I didn't see it as being. When someone said you should join the military, I'm like, what?
Yeah, why
no,
would I do
why?
that?
And the whole time it was what I needed. That's weird, isn't it?
No, I mean, to very anecdotally and personally for me, I always felt that would have been a good route for me to go down as well because I felt similar growing up. I felt like I operate better
Yeah.
within a structured environment,
Exactly.
but mentally I felt like I wanted everything but that.
Right, and that's how I
if
felt.
I would have been placed
Yeah.
in it, I would have excelled similar to yourself. So no,
Yeah, I mean,
it's intriguing.
It's definitely something that you will react. Whenever that stress is induced, your body's going to react, your mind's going to react. Not everybody's the same. And now for me, like I said, I didn't join right after high school, so I had a couple of years. So I was maybe a little bit more mature than some of these guys, because I've seen some of the mental gymnastics these guys were doing when the drill sergeant would come around, and I'd hear him say some of the most ridiculous things, and I would try not to be laughing. Like, okay, some of the funniest things. I had a drill sergeant on Easter. Listen to this. We come downstairs. It's Easter Sunday, right? I don't know if you're religious or anything, but that's in the military. You're going to go to church because that's the only time you get away from the drill sergeant, right? And he was a senior drill instructor. He kind of reminded me of Arlie Ermey from Full Metal Jacket. Just had more bushy eyebrows and he was probably a little bit more mad. He came downstairs and he goes, "All right, everybody, today is the day that our Lord fixed bayonets and began thrusting and holding upon the enemy, which is Satan. Well, his number is 666, and my number is 24, 24, 24. Don't mess with me, go to church." And we all went to church. I just thought it was awesome. I was like, he gets to be paid to say this kind of stuff.
You think he said that over and over to
he
different
had
groups?
that so rehearsed. Yeah.
He's got that cooked up, ready to go.
You'd see it when the drill sergeants would say their key thing or something funny. All the drill sergeants would be rolling their eyes like, "Oh, here he goes again." You know, something you pick up. I had a good time.
What were you ever overseas or were?
Oh yeah, bunch. Yeah. I joined under President Clinton under peacetime, about 5 years after Somalia.
Okay.
So a lot of my guys that were at 10th Mountain Division. Now, I don't know if you know anything about the Mogadishu conflict. 10th Mountain backed up the Rangers. Well, the Rangers won't admit it, and I don't expect them to. They ran out of that place themselves. It's just 10th Mountain was with the Malaysians, and they were providing overwatch. And they weren't given the green light. But there was a lot of CIBs, which is combat infantry badges, when I was in 11 Bravo 98, and there weren't many of them. But we had about 10 or 12 in my unit, and I knew that when I got to that unit, that these guys were squared away because they were doing classes as soon as I got in there. Butcher block, anything I didn't know. I was so informed as a private, I couldn't believe it. And there's a big difference when you go from a very highly disciplined thing like infantry to aviation because the quality of the NCO changes. I don't know. I don't want to talk bad about it. It's just I definitely notice a leadership change. And, something I know that probably should have brought that up. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
no grievances.
It's what it is. Doesn't bother me as long as it doesn't bother you. I mean, military in general, do you look, you said you look back on it fondly.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, at this point in time.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just got my 13th or 12th surgery. So I got a couple more left. Not that I wear them like a badge. It's just I really like going under. I don't know if that's something I should admit to. It's like time traveling. It's just some weird things have happened. I'm okay, guys. I don't need any help. I'm fine. Sober too. So anyway,
that makes two of us.
Deep.
That makes two of us. What so at when you de-enlist from the military, what's it called when you stop your?
Oh well, I retired.
Okay, you retired.
Yeah, I retired. Yeah, I'm.
And you can do that after like one.
Well, I know they
cycle,
started changing it. Like it used to be just 20 years, and then like after I was in, I think once the surge hit, 07, 08, they started saying you could retire at 15.
Okay.
But if you took 15 years, it would be a 40-cent base pay,
right?
Instead of 50 at 20.
Okay.
So yeah. I don't know what it is now. I should ask my son. He's in 101st Airborne, so yeah.
Okay, so then we retire from the military,
Yeah.
and what's our moves after that? Do we try to acclimate back to?
Oh, wait, let's go backwards. You asked me if I went overseas. Yeah.
So we can go backwards.
Yeah.
Go
I went to Korea. Okay, so September 11th, 2001, I'm actually a controller in Lower Alabama by Fort Rucker, and boom, towers, everything else, and it's like, oh crap. Well, not even 3 weeks later, I'm on a plane to go to Korea, and here's the funny thing. Whatever you take from this, weird things happen to me. Very weird things. I had a thing of Gold Bond in my duffel bag, right? Now I'm flying, not only from Bama, I'm going to Atlanta. I'm stopping over in L.A., and then I got to go to Kadena Air Force Base, and then I got to fly over to Seoul. And once I get to Seoul, 10 people have touched my stuff, So I get into this place, Walker Center. It's just supposed to let me sleep for the night. Well, I'm going to go drink. So me and a couple buddies I made friends with on the plane, we're just going at it. And the whole time, I had left my briefcase at the entrance. Well, I don't know. You guys were probably pretty young, 2001, but there was powder all over my briefcase from the Gold Bond. From the Gold Bond in my, yeah. So they treated it like anthrax, and dude, there I am, hammered, and they're asking me like, what's up with this fake anthrax scare? And I'm like, not me, dude. Smell it. It's gold. They had disassembled my briefcase. I'm like, did you guys get what you needed? I mean, can you put it back together? Like, I still have that same briefcase. It's upstairs. I had to put it back together. Thanks a lot, FBI in Seoul, Korea, 2001. I don't need any
They
retaliation.
don't have, like, a little vial they could just test it real quick and be like,
yeah,
hey, it's not poison.
Yeah, it's like, come on, dude. Anyway.
What are we talking about?
So funny.
What was Korea the only other place you had traveled to while you were enlisted? Where else did we go?
So I got a return assignment from Seoul to Fort Bragg, 82nd Airborne, the aviation unit there. And as soon as I got on station, I think 4 weeks later, I got orders to go to Afghanistan.
Okay.
This is in '02. We didn't get on ground until about January 4th, I think. So I got to see my family and everything. I had been married for a couple of years. Matter of fact, I got married 2 months after, or a month after I joined. I'm like one of those typical privates that go back and get the girl and, you know, you take her. And most of them ended up divorced.
Where did you meet the wife at Mount Union?
Matter of fact, I wasn't going back to Mount Union. I hadn't made a choice of what I wanted to do. I was bouncing. I was a bouncer at Screwy Louie's in Kent, Ohio. My wife still has the matchbook that I wrote my beeper number.
No.
Beeper, you know what that is? It's a cell phone you can't talk on. It will just ring, and it'll tell you someone's calling you. You know how aggravating that is? I don't know. You see any payphones?
It worked out, though.
It did work out, yeah.
You're a smooth dude.
I guess. Or she's just very patient. I think that's what it is. I could be a little much, Ben.
Oh man, what can we circle then back to the retirement? What do we after we get out of the military then? How do we move towards? So I mean, what year did you retire from the military? Let's
16.
start there.
Yeah, it was August 16, July 16, and I was in El Paso. We had just stood up the air assault school down there, and I retired, and I started going to school for physical therapy. And I got a job offer up here, and we wanted to be by family. So I got a job up there, Acronym Canton Airport. I was a flight coordinator.
Okay.
I didn't choose air traffic control because it was contract tower. There's a whole thing that goes with FAA, age, grandfather clause, and all this other stuff. But I didn't want to be away from family. So chose up here, took a pay cut, worked over there at the airport until COVID, and then I found this place.
How did you find it?
I'm gonna tell you this. All right, so
did you stumble across it? Job boards? Like how do we get to deliver that?
Well, I was working to be a loan officer at this one company down the road. I was about not interested in it at all. It's literally just I have to do it. I do get a retirement, but I still have to work. My wife does well, but you need money, and so I just took it, and I wasn't happy. And then thankfully. Interest rates and inflation messed up the housing market, so I got laid off, and I had to take a hardscaping job. Times are rough, I can do hard work. No, I can't anymore.
A couple surgeries.
Matter of fact, Mitch, I think, called me, or somebody called me while I was at a job site, and they were like, hey, I saw you put in an application. And I saw us DeliverThat, and I'm like, oh, man, okay, all right, well, let's see what they got to say. I'm not going to turn anything down. I showed up, and the job that was offered, I didn't even realize, because I was just clicking at that point, because my hands were destroyed. I'm doing hardscaping. I just need a job,
Yeah, just try and get out of there.
Yeah, and when I met everybody, I was like, wait a minute. These guys are like me. Well, whether you believe it or not. I immediately felt at home, but I didn't want to say nothing. And then you guys hired me, and this is the only place I've had. Okay, so I've been a civilian since 16. This is the only job I've had as a civilian where I have the same kind of, camaraderie. It's a team effort. I feel, because I don't know if you know, I'm probably like the company's cheerleader. I don't know this. Like, I was at work maybe 3 weeks and I already put the hands in. Like, I was at a meeting, yeah. So they don't really know me.
You have to be the origin of the Delta Tango?
I am Delta Tango.
Okay.
Yeah, so phonetic alphabet, anybody that's in the military, I'll do any kind of Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta. I can do it all. but I really like acronyms, any military guys. So I see DT. Now, last time I saw DT was in health class, and that meant delirium tremors from alcoholism. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's awesome. So Delta Tango. So I started the Delta Tango. So everybody puts their mitts in there, and sometimes I'll sing a military cadence. But I'm a big pump-up guy.
Yeah.
So my kids, football, I'm always yelling. I'm yelling at the refs. I hate the refs all the time. I don't care. Yeah, I do. Sorry, Browns fan. I'm jaded. Yeah, so my kids, even my daughter, my son's football, my daughter volleyball, and she's doing track now. She was into gymnastics, and I am literally saying the most ridiculous things in the crowd, and everybody loves it, and to the point where I can't get in trouble. There's another parent that said almost the same thing as me, but a different flavor. And they're like, you can't do that. But there I am, like, I'm like a mascot. Everybody loves me. Yeah, it's like we have our own little crowd. People are like, can we sit with you? It's like, I don't know, it's kind of cool.
What, so then when you got hired at DeliverThat, what, are you in the position that you were hired for still?
Yeah, they needed somebody for logistics, routing. And, I could control planes.
Yeah.
I figure if they're on the ground, they can't go up or down. It should be easier, right? Yeah. And it's, they're just, logistics are just data. What do you do with it? You got to get it here, you get it there. Whether it's a tube in the sky with, pink and squishies or, they're on the ground, It's all math, and I love it. So
yeah, hell yeah. I agree. I think you're definitely a pump up guy in the office. I
try to be.
Yeah, everyone appreciates it.
That's my job security, Ben. If anything else,
that's good security.
He's going to bring me. He's going to bring me up. I try to raise the frequency, and since combat, there's nothing I take seriously, except my family, and my friends. And I think this experience means more than anything, just to meet people. Yeah. I think that's the whole point of this.
And we got to keep that morale boosted.
Not to get too deep, but yeah, I think it's good.
What I think DeliverThat specifically. You mentioned your kind of logistics routing.
Yeah.
I hear you're on the phones all the time out there.
Oh yeah, I like talking to people.
Yeah,
obviously.
Yeah, and I just wanted to ask, like, in regard to what you do on a day-to-day basis. You just said you enjoy talking to the drivers, talking to people all day.
Yeah.
Are there things specifically that you do on a day in and day out basis that that's what keeps you coming back to work every day?
Well, if I'm dealing with something, it means things didn't go right.
Okay.
It means that order's wrong, driver has an issue, food's an issue. So if I'm handling it, it's already an issue.
Okay.
So I just, I can't wait to find out what's going on here, Oh, not this, ask around, we do it, like the Wall Street, what was it, were you guys Roman Greco? Were you just yelling across the floor?
Well, you got Wolf of Wall Street, the newer movie. That's the newer movie.
Yeah, Wall Street itself. Money never sleeps. But, I like chaos, and I thrive in chaos, I'm glad that y'all let me yell and say ridiculous things, and you guys haven't called the cops. There's no ambulance on the way to go check my mental clarity or anything. I'm usually crazy. And I think I do that to break up the monotony. I even do it at home. My kids probably think I've lost it a long time ago. Sometimes my wife looks at me funny, even family members, but I am really that way. I am really out there. Nothing crazy, but the views I have on things don't match up with most. And I find it comfortingly awesome, I guess. I don't know.
I think it's entertaining, to be honest. I think
I'm a performer.
Thinking things about in that light or in that way. Dude,
I always want to be a comedian.
Breaks up the monotony, like you said a little bit. What when you mentioned it's probably not great if you're the one dealing with the problem or you're providing the solution of whatever's happening in that moment.
So the job, yeah. So whatever happens, someone I'll see something. There's a delivery. The driver only has like 10 minutes to get there. They haven't started the job, so what's going on? A lot of times they just forget or they don't even know they have the delivery. If they're a new driver, so I just give them a call. Hey, what's going on, bud? You're whoever, and I didn't even know I had it. Well, hey, check it. And I try to give as much information in short amount of time that will be helpful for the driver and they'll understand the policies because I know when you're reading so much, you can only absorb so many things. But hearing a voice tell you, hey, start job 25 minutes before the pickup time, hey.
Clicks.
Yeah. And then, that driver will always do it. And if they don't, they'll be like, I forgot to do it. And it's not a big deal. It's just to keep this operation, running smooth. It's not us that always have to keep things. It's everybody. Everybody has to work like a well-oiled machine, or else the customer doesn't get their food on time. I think that's the whole point. And I really enjoy doing my job. I don't know.
Is that when you things that a driver could do to avoid having to talk to you or having hearing your name pop up on the phone? Are there things specifically other than you mentioned, marking the job underway, being online and available? Is there something other than those two things that you think would make a driver's life,
a couple hours easier? Just make sure, you start your day out. Make sure you're online, first of all. Make sure you have a good internet connection. That's how you're going to be able to see offers anyway. That GPS is on. It's giving us location to track. And post Patriot Act, we can do that. And you did sign on, and you're 1099. But I'm just being silly. All that in play. If you are online, at least I know that you are running according to policy. Now, if it gets to be about 25 minutes, you haven't started the job. That's when we're going to start. All right, at 90 minutes, we're going to be like, hey, you got a delivery coming up. You may want to start it. At 25 minutes, if you don't, then I'm calling or I'm texting to find out. And a lot of times, I hate to say it, it's in the middle of another delivery. So it's right when the driver doesn't want to answer because they're putting out food. So I send a text. I know you're at a drop. If at all possible, hit start job for the next one, just so you're still in compliance and no one's asking, hey, is this delivery okay? Because no, they started it. They're just behind because of another drop. It just gives me a reason. And I try to fight for the driver as much as possible. We have hard lines in the sand. What's a violation? What isn't? We always try to, for the driver, by the driver, or by the driver for the driver. And I just try to put myself in that situation. Humans, not computers, sometimes helps. But I think people need a computer side too. That's how I learned.
Yeah. A little more analytical sometimes.
Yeah. So.
What outside of DeliverThat, then I think realistically, what do you have an interest in anything else within the company other than logistics and routing and things of that nature? I know you mentioned we're the pump up guy. We're out there routing. We're making sure deliveries are going A to Z as well as they possibly can. Is there anything within the company that you have an interest in?
Oh yeah. Yeah, and I've been trying to think about that. I've got a lot of leadership schools and a lot of leadership time. I was a non-commissioned officer over 12 years, senior non-commissioned officer. So leadership, I get it. The cool thing is, it's like watching you guys. There's no way. How old are you? Like 20?
29.
29, okay. At 29? Yeah. Different animal. I look at you guys, everyone that started this thing, that's in supervisory roles or the founders, and it's like there's no way on this earth I would have been able to sit in the same building at 29 years old. You know what I mean? It was just too wild. I don't know what it was, man. I had to get it out, but I've calmed down. I've got less parts. Maybe that's what it is. The last one, maybe they took it out of me. I don't know. I don't know. But, you guys are pretty squared away. 20-year-olds doing this, and I admire you guys. I really do. And what you said, you may have been good in the military. A lot of the direction and, your drive, your motivation, even your leadership skills, they could have been used. And I see a lot of that here that I saw in the military. Now, obviously, it's a different game altogether, but I do notice it.
Yeah, you just have to apply it a bit differently.
Yeah,
in some
I'm not sitting close enough to the mic.
We'll pick it up no matter what. I think I got the gain cranked up, and no matter what. Man, I think in terms of DeliverThat backstory and you, that's really all I got. I think for the most part, do you have anything else that we didn't touch on about the life you want to talk about? Anything that we could provide for the people and give them more context on who Dave is?
Anybody that knows me knows I like to train. I'm just post-surgery right now. Not that I'm apologizing for anything, but I know a lot about the body, about health, nutrition, biology. Went to college for it, but I've also studied it on my own for 30 plus years. And it's coming from a guy where there were no supplements in 1989, when I was 14, trying to find stuff, so seeing what it is today and just being able to guide people not to jump on fad diets. I have my own workouts. Matter of fact, there's 2 or 3 people in this office now. I did diets for everybody with the new year, trying to New Year's resolutions.
Yeah, resolutions.
Yeah,
yep.
trying to get fit. I wrote up a couple, and I was a personal trainer in El Paso. I went out and got my ISSA. Expert rating. I did it the cheesy way. You pay money and they give you a thing, but it allowed me to train people in El Paso, and I had a few clients. But I was only doing it for about a year before I came up to Ohio.
Is that like outside of work? Is that your main hobby then? Hitting the gym?
Well, that
physically
bass,
fit,
bass
all that?
fishing.
Okay, fishing.
My kids, probably. I put a lot of time in my kids. Me and my wife both. They are awesome. I got the easy button when it came to parenting, and they're great kids. They're smart. They're taken care of. They're squared away. Every single one of them are athletically gifted. My son Dave got honorable mention in state.
Hell of a player.
First team,
Hell of a
all
player.
federal league. My oldest son that's in the military, he was, I think he got second team all federal league, and he got defensive player of the year. You know what I mean? It's great. And then my daughter's just kicking butt and JO volleyball, and she's doing track now. So the physical and the athletic side, I'm just glad they like it. I never forced it on them. I think that's what wins. Parents, never force your kid into anything that you want them to do. You just show them you're having fun doing something, and they'll eventually want to do it. That's how I did it with my kids. They, whether Nerf guns or real guns or football or whatever, I just start playing something and they want to do it. So.
I think that's a great message. I think obviously everyone here is super family oriented too. I think the office itself. We have a couple married couples at this point. People are dating. Like it's very
it's a close office,
family centric company.
It's a close office.
Yeah,
very close. I think everybody truly cares about everybody, and that's weird. Civilian jobs I had 2 after the Army, and there was like 1 or 2 people in the office, so I never really had to work with a dynamic of people. This is the first place where it's more than one, and I love it. Yeah, everybody. I know everybody's personality. I know how to approach everybody. I know how to talk to everybody, and that's cool, So.
Hell yeah. It's cool. I think, can we close it out?
I'm done.
Got this or that segment.
Yeah,
I'll run you
good.
through, give you
Thanks, Ben.
1 or 2 options. We're not done. We're not done. We're gonna run through this or that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you 1 or 2 options. You pick one or the other.
Okay.
And we'll run it down based on the explanation and see if I got any follow-ups based on that.
All right, go.
Cool?
Yep.
All right, so we're going to start out. I'm not sure how you're usually here before I am in the morning, so I'll start out with this one. Hot coffee or iced coffee?
Hot.
Straight black?
No. Foo-foo.
Which cream, sugar?
I just got into it not too long. It used to be just plain cream or whatever. Now, the more sweet it is. This coffee machine, guys. You should see the coffee machine. I never was into foo-foo coffee. Like, just give me some coffee. Now, I'm picking I'll do a vanilla espresso with a chocolate shot. Getting fat.
That hot chocolate is so good out of that machine.
It is really good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
What about city or suburb?
Suburb. I appreciate the city and everything it has to offer, but I need space, and I'm usually doing something that makes noise. So
some woodworking,
guns or whatever. I need to have some space.
Okay. What about texting or calling?
Call. I hate texting. I've got arthritis, and I've had surgery on both wrists. Even in the military, like when we started getting email, I'm showing my age. 2000, we started getting U.S. Army.mil email addresses, and I'm like, can't somebody just call me? Like, everyone's like, you didn't get your email? I'm like, call me, dude. Like, I just got a cell phone. Like, what is this going on? I didn't get it. But yeah, phone call is better.
Okay. What about in terms of a road trip? Driver or passenger?
Definitely driver. No, wait a minute. Okay, so hold on. So I moved a lot in the military. So I'd probably 17 to 19 different times.
Jeez.
Yeah. And a lot of times it was like from, Ohio to New York, New York to Bama, Bama to Bliss or Bragg, or just all over the place. So any opportunity I get to be a passenger, I'll take it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like that. Would you consider yourself glass half full or half empty?
Definitely half full, maybe 3/4 full. I refuse to give in to negative anything. I don't know. Anybody around me and my family, they're down in a funk, I'm going to be on your nerves. What's going on? Let's fix it. Scrap it. And let's do something new. I'm not into negative emotions. And if there's something bothering you, I'm going to get it out of you. I'm going to be the most annoying dude because you're going to smile by the end of it because there's no sense in being negative. I just don't think there's a reason for it. I just don't believe in it.
I think I need you to round me a little bit more.
Heck yeah, dude.
I need you to round me a little bit more. What,
Hey, you buy me. I'm on Craigslist. No, I'm just kidding.
And I guess we'll just say in terms of food, sweet or savory?
Savory. Yeah. Okay, so after my surgery, I said, screw it, I can't even lift. So I just started pounding my face with cookies and fat pills and at the end of it, that's not me. So I'm back on schedule.
We're out of the sweets.
Yeah, I will do it maybe once every 2 weeks, once a month if I've deserved it because I know me. I have to have structure. If I don't, then everything else goes away. If I don't keep my diet and keep training or keep something in my life.
Next thing you know, we don't know
pets' heads are falling off, that kind of thing.
Okay. What else? What do we got? I don't think I've asked this one. How about would you rather have a pool or the ocean?
Just pool's fine. Yeah. Do you swim in the ocean?
I don't like. As a child, yes. I would go I
found myself more as an adult.
Wakeboarding, but it's like the
skimboarding.
Skimboarding. Then there's like the Nerf kind of boards.
Okay, I got you.
Like with my cousins, we'd go on trips and we play in the water. But as an adult, I don't know that I've swam in the ocean in many years.
Yeah,
I'll go to the beach. I'll get some sun, lay out, drink some beers, whatever. But I don't have much interest in getting in the ocean. I'd prefer a pool.
Yeah, waist deep maybe. Starts getting.
Yeah, you got to pee. Go out in the ocean.
At 17 years old, I convinced myself there was an orca whale in my uncle's pool. All right. I had goggles on. It was dark. It was getting dark, and I was under the water. And I just had this feeling because I saw this movie about a killer whale. I knew it wasn't in the pool. I had to get out. Dave. Hi, Kim. How you doing, Kim Barnes? Chicago. What's up? Shout out. She's my favorite driver.
Kim, I've met
Kim
Kim.
Barnes.
I've met Kim a
What's
handful
up?
of times. She's great.
Dave.
So we did that one. Oh, okay. I like this one. Dress up or dress down?
Probably dress down. But I like to dress up too. Yeah, dress up. Why not? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, why not? But I don't do it often. I'm usually just like this.
But if you got to go to a
If I
wedding
have
or
to,
something,
well,
you feel good about it.
Yeah, I married Kat.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, did you see that picture?
What's that called when you marry people? You know what the word is that for that?
Just a minister?
Is that what it is?
Yeah, I'm a dudist. So I'm a dudist priest. I'm serious. I got that. No,
that's what it says
I'm
on the
filed
paper?
in the state of Ohio.
Yeah.
As a dudist, yeah.
That's
and it's
crazy.
a Big Lebowski thing. Yeah, the dude. I'm a dudist. Yeah. It's just, I don't know how this universe is connected, and I don't mean to throw, I don't mean to be sacrilegious. It's just, I believe in something, and I haven't seen it yet, so I just think, however it's connected, I think we're all connected somehow.
Just
so
not sure
I just
how.
become a dudist priest to, like Kat, I'm sure she enjoyed her ceremony, and it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good
just wanna
time.
help
That was a
people.
good time. I
Yeah.
heard. Last one I got. This one we'll close it out here. Would you rather cook at home or go out to eat?
Go out to eat. I'm in that kitchen a lot. Yeah, go out to eat. Yeah.
Okay. You got a favorite establishment?
Well, if I had a choice, Cattleman's in Fabens, Texas. It is the best steakhouse in the nation.
Where's Fabens, Texas?
Yeah, it's on the way to El Paso on Route 10. Probably about 15 minutes, 20 minutes before you get to El Paso, you'll see Fabens. And there's this old antiquated Marathon gas station. That's the only place I know to look is that Marathon. And I know if I turn right, I'm going to go to Awesomeness and like a Christmas present from my mouth because the steak is going to be so good. It's just like, angel tears and like unicorns. It's amazing.
Cattleman's.
Cattleman's.
Shout out Cattleman's. Hell yeah.
Fabens,
Outside
Texas.
El Paso,
What's up?
Texas.
Same one? Okay, same thing. El Paso.
It's a chain.
Well, maybe one or two of them. Yeah. But listen, I had a family of 5. Now, I had babies. Me and my wife had babies less than, I'd say, 9 or 10. And for our spring break, we dropped like 3.5 bills for our spring break. I mean, lobster tail, cowboys, that was our spring break. And we would do it every year until we left there. Yeah, so I thought that was kind of cool.
Hell yeah. All right, Dave. Well, I appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Ben.
I think this is a great conversation. I like you're a very interesting individual, human being, and your background's always been very intriguing to me. Okay. So I'm appreciative and grateful you took time to sit down and let me learn a little bit more about you.
Oh, no problem, Ben.
All right, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Take it easy.